This week on Paddle Tales, we're exploring the Petawawa River. The Petawawa is one of the most amazing multi-day whitewater river trips in the world. It's a river that has challenging whitewater, epic scenery, unbelievable backcountry camping, and world-class muskie fishing. To take advantage of all of it, we've brought our fishing kayaks instead of tripping canoes. But before we get right into it, please subscribe to Paddle TV if you haven't already, and follow us on Facebook and Instagram because we have lots more paddling tips, tricks, and Paddle Tales episodes coming your way. Paddle Tales is brought to you in part by NRS, Aquabound, Jackson Kayak, and Ontario Creates. So we're making our way up to one of my favorite places in the world, the Petawawa River in Algonquin Park. It's a section of river with whitewater, incredible muskie fishing, and just spectacular scenery. We're spending 6 days on the river, and we're doing it in style. We're not skimping. We got more than backpacker meals.
Wow. Is there like a special form of labeling or something? It seems like a lot of gear.
You don't have Birkenstocks?
No. Was this, am I supposed to?
No, you don't have Birkenstocks?
No. Is that a status symbol? Have I not achieved something and that means I don't have Birkenstocks?
So you mean these aren't yours?
No.
No?
Damn it!
Right there, we're like 95%. This is James. You're so excited to go kayaking.
It's like I left my shoes behind.
The Petawawa is one of the iconic river trips of this area. It's a world-class river trip, you know, a 5 or 6 day river trip that you can do, and you can do it in a shorter period of time depending on water level flows. But it's only an hour and a half or 2 hours away from Ottawa. And in terms of a river trip to do, it's just a beautiful section. I was able to do this for the first time last year as a family trip. I jumped on the opportunity to do it again.
I was just catching the fish behind you, Brenda.
Again, I'm not sure why we have James on this trip, Ken.
Comic relief.
Comic relief.
Man, is it ever nice to be back on the Petawawa. This lake we're in right now, this is Lake Traverse. This is the put-in, the start of this section that we're doing. It's a very popular section, but most people actually just come to Lake Traverse. There's fantastic camp spots. It's a big lake filled with big muskie. There are some slobs in here, but a lot of people don't venture where we're going, which is at the other end of this lake, about probably 4 miles that way. The lake narrows into the Petawawa River, and you have whitewater. Most of it is just class 2, class 3, but enough to stop most people from venturing in, which is a good thing, because unless you do have a certain level of expertise in whitewater, or a willingness to do a lot of portaging, then you know it's not an easy river to run.
With the wind picking up, we decide to take a break from fishing and set up camp nearby, hoping that things calm down for the evening so that we can get back to chasing muskie. After all, this is the best muskie fishing lake on the Petawawa River, which is why we only plan to set up camp a mile from the put-in. Not exactly a rigorous day of paddling. But none of us has done as much fishing as we would have liked this summer, and so we're all suffering from a little fishing withdrawal.
The wind has not died down. In fact, it picked up. So we're gonna chow down, grab some dinner. We got 5 days of fishing ahead of us. We'll survive. We'll have to sit back, enjoy each other's company.
I think that was it.
No, that's not what we're going to enjoy. Not with James here.
At home, I'm usually up quite early for work purposes, but in the outdoors, you know, this morning when the alarm went off at 5 a.m., you know, at first your knee jerk is, yeah, I'd like to sleep a little bit more, but just the opportunity to see the sunrise come up, it was glassy water, just a beautiful golden light. It's such a great way to see the world come alive.
So I'm a morning person, so not a lot of people I know get up pretty much every morning at 5:15. So it wasn't a hard thing for me to do, and I'm kind of a morning fisherman because that's when everything's nice and glassy. Even if it's going to be a windy day, you gotta, if you're out there before the sun comes up, or right as the sun comes up, you got a good hour of nice glass to fish in.
My fishing strategy for today would be to ask James what he's using. But I have everything in case I need it.
James is probably going to catch one before us, as much as that pains me to admit.
James will likely catch one before us, huh?
That's what I thought.
Look what I caught. Pretty good size for up here. Get a little bit bigger.
Even if we don't catch a muskie, we'll catch a lot of bass. Nice. Rapid. First rapid of the day. All right, where are you gonna take the raft, Brendo?
So I think what we're gonna do is just a nice tongue right there in the middle, line up, straight all the way through, all the way down. Easiest way to get through.
Let's do it.
So we have the longer, you know, I spent most of my life in a short 7-foot boat when I run whitewater. This boat not only was 13 feet long, it's laden with gear, and what happens is if you charge to compensate for something, it charges past that. And first day on the water, not really paying attention to the rock field that's below me, I kind of went up on top of a rock. I could have grabbed the high side, but that would have tipped the whole boat over. So instead I just kind of jumped out into the eddy behind the rock and pulled the boat over. And I got my mic wet.
James! Whoa, that's crazy! I floated into the eddy and I just dropped my lure like this and then wham, right beside the boat.
Let me catch the bigger one.
Whoa, it came off. Muskie fishing is kind of like whitewater paddling in that it's not for everyone. I mean, you're dealing with a very intense predatory fish and they get huge. Muskies get massive, and you can find some massive muskies in the Petawawa River.
Oh, James!
And so some people understandably don't want to catch a muskie. Myself, I like catching muskie.
So got out of my boat voluntarily earlier on to refresh myself. And we pulled into these little eddies after, and there's little currents everywhere and little eddies everywhere, and some of them go pretty deep. And all of a sudden my rod bent a little bit heavier than I thought it would, and everybody thought it was a catfish, but it was a muskie. And it counts if it jumps. It counts if it jumps on camera, for sure.
You have a nice nap there, Brendan?
Oh, I'm having the best naps. Oh, and look at that. Waking up at camp.
Well, day one was success. Didn't break anything, but tomorrow there's plenty of opportunity to break stuff because we got a big day. tomorrow we have basically the crux of the Petawawa River, Crooked Chute, and we're going to have to figure out how to get a lot of gear and a bunch of boats down a pretty substantial set of rapids.
We spent the night on an island. Great night sleeping, except for the rain. It was pouring.
It's hot again, like oppressive heat. The air is thick. You can almost feel like you can grab a chunk of the air. But there's no better place to be when it's this hot than on the water. All right, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 kilometers to the first rapid. We just fish our way for 6 kilometers.
All right. Oh yeah, it's a real fish. It's a big cat though. Pretty big though, huh?
Oh, look at that. That's a good one. There we go. Fish on. It's difficult catch it from a raft. I haven't done this before. It's so...
I think I deserve some kudos for you for giving you this bay.
That's a pretty nice fish right there. Look at those teeth. Awesome. Let's let... You want to be swimming on its own. There he goes. Bye-bye, buddy. Thank you. Sweet.
Ken just landed a nice little muskie right there, and hearing the thunder again right now, and it's just getting ever so closer. But I think we're going to be forced off here any minute.
As any angler knows, when a storm's coming in and the barometer is dropping, the fish tend to like to chew. And so it really wasn't a big surprise that right after I caught the big muskie, the skies opened up. If you're on the river and there's a storm and you've got lightning, then the only prudent thing to do is to get off the water, get shelter, wait. Just wait it out. It's going to pass. Not only are you going to be more comfortable finding shelter or making a shelter, but it's way safer. And so we did the smart thing for once. we took a break, put up the river wing, and chilled out, had lunch, and waited for the storm to pass. Whew. It's hot.
We hunkered down for a good hour and a half. I got a nap, which is, key. Re-energizes, get your mind off things. Once on the river, all of a sudden the clouds kind of cleared away and we got these little baby blue spots, and we got a breeze, so we were cooled down. It was really humid during the rainfall, so it was nice to get that nice refreshing breeze downriver and then switch to river running gear.
Back in biz. Storm has passed. I hope. Crooked Chute is the crux rapid of the Petawawa River. It's the toughest one. It's a class 4 rapid. There's no doubt about it. But it doesn't start that way. It starts with about a half mile of class 1, at most low class 2, meandering whitewater. It kind of lulls you to sleep a bit, but then
So out of the options, it was a 1,500 meter portage, so about a mile long portage around Crooked Chute. I opted to run the kayaks. I ran both my kayak as well as James' kayak.
Brendan, of course, insisted that I run it. Come on, James, you don't want to be the guy who walks it, are you? And
when you then look to shore and your buddy's walking down, portaging all the gear, that feels even better. Yay! What took you so long?
Let's just say my CrossFit workout has been done for the next 20 days after 4 trips with at least 20 bags.
If you've done any whitewater paddling, you've probably heard that more accidents happen on shore than actually in the whitewater. And every once in a while, that point gets proven with a big exclamation mark.
You can't just go out and get driftwood without consequence. So without training, without any guiding at all, he went out and did it himself. And look what happened. It's classic, it really is.
A little firewood for the bonfire tonight. Just gotta be careful which ones you step on.
While we made it through the toughest whitewater of the trip in Crooked Chute, our mission is far from complete. There's a lot of river left to cover, and we still haven't caught the monster muskie. Although as we sit around the campfire, I thought it was necessary to point out to the guys that I have caught the biggest muskie so far. I'm going to enjoy this moment because I've got a good feeling that's going to change tomorrow.